The internet is obviously popping off over my 154 Africa podcast. And, well, it is what it is. I said what I said, and I stand by everything. These are my experiences. This is what happened to me. And you can believe me or not believe me. I've always been a truth teller, which is probably why it took me a lot longer to make it in my career, because I was never willing to bend over or shut my mouth just for a little bit of success. I'm old. I'm in my days of life. I'm just going to say what the hell I am going to say. I've also invested well, so I can retire and not work and I'll be all right. I've got enough to live quite comfortably. And so I can't be threatened by my work being taken away if I don't keep my mouth shut. And because of that, I'm going to say what I say. Now, having said that, I'm not just out here looking for trouble. I'm just telling the stories of what happened to me and telling my experiences. People are saying, why now? Why are you telling these stories now? I've always told these stories. I've been telling these stories. It's just that no one was listening before.
So here we go. Here we go again, man. This stuff just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. So Godfrey and Kabir Bajabia Miller is at it again on the 154 podcast, right? You know, the two Nigerian brothers, and you know, I'm foundational Black American, but I don't do too much tether content and all that kind of stuff. I leave it up to my other brothers and sisters that do that, right? But I call you out when you need to be called out, but I don't really get into all the arguing wars and all that kind of. I'm too old for that, right? But for some reason, I noticed that these guys, they only have on, like, they never brought on a foundational Black American to actually, where we can actually plead our case, where they can get us some outstanding understanding as to how we feel and why we say the things that we say. Now, we saw that Godfrey, when he had to do David Owumo on there, he said, oh man, that Adolf stuff. But then in one breath, he's defending it, right? It gets real crazy. But it's funny how they mad at us for delineating and separating ourselves because of the decades of disrespect. But we've been saying, like, Caribbeans and Africans don't get along. They've been beefing forever over there, especially the Windrush generation. They've been beefing forever over there in London, right? When they like 5% of the population, they still couldn't get along. They bring that same mentality, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them bring that same mentality to America on us. And we call it out. We're divisive. We're wrong. It's funny how they all come together to gang up on us for calling them out when we can see they doing the same thing to each other. Y'all don't believe me? Listen to this veteran African woman.
The hatred between Africans and Caribbeans was so strong.
This is Windrush, right?
God.
Windrush came when? What is the Windrush? The 1930s?
Yeah, when Caribbeans came over to England to help after the First World War. So,
yes, right.
You know, they came over for the 40s and 50s and 60s. They came.
Yeah.
And, you know, that colonialism, they brainwashed Caribbeans, Jamaicans, and didn't even know that they were descended from Africans.
Right.
I went to school with kids who had no idea. No, man, I'm Jamaican. We're talking about. My mom and dad are Jamaican. And I'd be like, you weren't in, your ancestors were brought to, they did not know.
Wow.
Until Roots came out. They didn't know because they were deliberately kept uneducated.
Yes.
So because of that, there was a chasm between Africans born in Africa and Caribbeans, because Caribbeans looked at Africans and were like, ugh, they think they're better than us, and they come from the jungle and all this, because all they knew about Africans was what was in the Tarzan movies.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Africans looked down on Caribbeans, going, hey, look at them, they don't even know their own history, they're useless. So there was that. So my mum wouldn't let me go anywhere, and she did not like it when I had Caribbean, Jamaican, just Jamaicans, don't mix with them. You know, my mum would rather I had white friends than Jamaican friends. That's how bad it was.
Insane.
So she wouldn't let me go to any parties. One time when I was 15, a girl who lived across the street. My house is here. This girl's house
is there,
here.
Right there, right across the street.
Everything's so close.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go to anything that's so close.
She had a birthday party.
Oh, good. Okay, so
how old were you? How old were you?
15.
15.
Damn.
Okay, yeah.
She invited everybody in the class to the birthday party. There was another girl, Muslim girl, whose parents also didn't let her go anywhere. Oh. So I bonded with her on the fact that we were never allowed to go anywhere, because all the other friends used to get to hang out weekends and stuff, and we'd sit and commiserate and go, well, at least, you know, I was kind of, you know, I had that Schadenfreude. I'd be glad that she was miserable too. Do you know what I mean?
So as you can see, her folks, her own mother said that she would rather her hang out with W folks than other Black people. than the Jamaicans, right? No matter what they was going through, because she always talked about all the racism she experienced, right? And the people, this thing is crazy. They mad at us for delineating, because we, see, as Black Americans, we've been under the foot of this W man. So we already see them coming a mile away. And we was always trained that when you come to America and you Black, you was with us until you showed us that you wasn't, right? We always had our arms open. That's why that's why you have a Farrakhan. That's why you have a Marcus Garvey, right? Right? That's why you have a Stokely Carmichael. That's why you have a Shirley Chisholm. Because Big Mom and Big Daddy, we always open up our arms and we loved on everybody. You have a Casper Holstein and all these people that was in the streets, like all these people that came from other places, right, dwelled amongst us and was loved on. Sidney Poitier, all of them, right? All of them that was riders. But for some reason when y'all come here, y'all bring that same tribalism and issues y'all got amongst your own ranks. You bring that to the States and you bring that to us. And we ain't having it no more. We not allowing that. Y'all come here and start calling us lazy. Start running over there to the W man, throwing your nose all up in W cooch. You can't wait to have a Pink Panther running through your womb, right? So you can have mixed babies and drown out you know, what you hate about yourself, right? Y'all bring that foolishness to us, and we no longer having it. So when she had, when Gina Yasher had her show on CBS, she had ran a pilot where she did a show where she did something about Black Americans. And a lot of Black Americans took umbrage with that, right? They said that she was talking down to us and making fun of us. She's saying that she wasn't, right? But let's look at this.
African Americans and Africans.
Oh, yes.
What they call it? They call it
the FBAs versus the
foundational Black Americans.
So I slipped in a lot of stuff like that in the show without them knowing. They didn't get it.
Right.
But I slipped in some stuff to say, look, guys, we're all one. I mean, people took it wrong. Like there was one episode.
This is the foundation of this episode. 154 is to bring all of us together because there was that murmur and it was just like, this stuff was manufactured in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
This should not be a real thing.
Yeah. So I try to slip stuff in there to discuss it. And you know, I started some discussions. There was one episode where they misunderstood completely and they came for me hard. There's an episode where my character was like, oh, you know, Abishola has been followed by this white man. The top is the white man. The bottom is the African, you know, that whole thing. But that's how old school Africans think.
Yeah.
And then I had the other character, Gloria, the African American nurse, say, you're talking nonsense. Yeah. If you get stopped by the police, you think they're gonna go, oh, I'm from Benin City. You're still Black, it don't make no difference. So I had the other character counteract that. But what happened was people took just my character's part of it and edited out the African-American character. And we look at what this woman's written about African-Americans. She hates us, these Africans. And I'm like, you got to watch the whole scene.
And see, my biggest problem sometimes is I'm too nice sometimes, right? I'm too forgiving sometimes. I'm told that. I was told that by my wife too. You know, when I was out in the streets, you know, 30 years ago running wild, I wasn't forgiving. I was a product of the environment. When I changed my life and got civilized and got married and had some children and all that kind of stuff, I get told by my older sister, I get told by so many people, man, you too nice, man, you too nice. So I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt until I heard like other people break this down. I was like, no, George, this is what she was saying. Then I heard Tariq Nasheed and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I don't know, I'm just a forgiving person sometimes in this part of my life, right? But when I heard the full breakdown, because mind you, I had never saw the show. So, but when I got the full skinny on what the show was about and the way we was being portrayed, I said, oh, because y'all know I can go in when I need to go in once the truth is revealed to me. But when I didn't have the full truth, I was being forgiven. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got the spirit of the Most High in me, man. I love Black people, so I was, you know. But once I got the truth, and a lot of my FBA family actually showed me like what this thing was about and what she was portraying. I saw it. I said, oh, nah, I ain't going for that. So Tariq Nasheed, you know, he said this.
This is horse crap. This is horse crap, ladies and gentlemen. The trope, what she's trying to say is that, oh, well, she was trying to spark a conversation. We're just so dumb, we took it wrong. We didn't take shit wrong. We saw it for what it is. You were shitting on us on that show. That show was crapping on foundational Black Americans. We saw it for what it was. We didn't miss nothing. Oh, we didn't just get it. It wasn't so highbrow. It just went over our heads. We didn't take nothing wrong. We took it exactly how it was. These are the same people who sit up here and say Akata ain't a bad word. These people really think we're dumb. They really think we're damn dumb. We saw the vitriol and the disses, all that, the baby mama. How come, okay, if you want to talk about conversations and let's spark a conversation, how come you ain't talking about the goddamn paternity fraud in Nigeria? That's where the baby mamas are. Nigeria has one of the top paternity fraud rates in the whole world. If you want to talk about a damn baby mama, you ain't saying that on the show. Notice you ain't doing no negative anti-Nigerian or anti-African stereotypes on the damn show. All the negative stereotypes is us talking about. You ain't dumb. We ain't dumb. We see it. You don't say nothing negative about Africa or Africans. Everything is you hardworking, you're disciplined, you're a future doctor. Everything is positive with you. And y'all been doing that for decades. And you're mad because we're calling you out with it now. Yeah, if you want to have it balanced and fair, talk about the festival that happened in Nigeria. You ain't bringing that up. You ain't bringing up all the scams. You ain't bringing up all the orphanages in your damn homeland. You ain't bringing up all the bush meat and the dirt roads and people crapping on the roads and shitting in the streets where it's a problem that they have to have signs telling people not to shit in the street. You ain't talking about that if you want some balance. All of the negative stereotypes is us. Yeah, we didn't miss nothing. We didn't miss nothing. We see what it is. And we got a problem with that, rightfully so. You're not slick. All that sparking a conversation, see, that's a PR crisis management thing. See, when you get caught pushing anti-FBA rhetoric, the default industry pivot is to claim, well, we were just trying to start a dialogue. No, writing disparaging tropes about foundational Black Americans, all that baby mama bullshit, portraying us as culturally inferior to African immigrants, that ain't a conversation starter. That's an insult broadcasted on national damn network television. So now you want to try to rebrand your disrespectful writing as some kind of high-level social commentary because the backlash is threatening your future marketability right now and your brand partnerships because we ain't rocking with a lot of y'all like that. So now a lot of shit is drying up for them. Let's get real with this. All that false equivalence, that's not balanced character. Talking about she introduced an American character to counter the African character's anti-Black American jabs. That's a cop-out. In television production, whoever controls the premise controls the narrative. When the fundamental framing of a show elevates an immigrant narrative by stepping on foundational Black American culture, a token rebuttal character, that don't neutralize the damage. All right? You've already said that. You understand? See, the core audience, they see exactly who's being positioned as the punchline.
But see, that goes under that we have no culture talk. We don't know who we are. They call us Akatas. They say that, they came over here willing. We came over here on ships and chains. They say all kinds of, disparaging stuff about us. And I always say that, listen, we called y'all African booty scratching, tar baby, and all that kind of stuff when we were children, undeveloped brains children. But guess what? I want y'all to understand something. We call everything that we called y'all, we called each other first. Well, if you was dark skinned here in America back in the day, or you were short, or you were, or whatever you had any type of thing that people can bustle on you on in FBA culture, that's what we did. So us bustling on y'all was part of us ingratiating you into the culture, bringing you in. The difference was, and everybody watching me, everybody foundational Black Americans agree with this. None of our grandmothers, big daddy, big mama, our parents ever told us to hate Africans. We was never told to stay away from y'all. We was never, grown-up adults with fully developed brain Black people never told us to stay away from y'all. The Problem is, your people told you to stay away from us. What we did as children was children. But as grown-ups, grown-ups told y'all to stay away from us. Our grown-ups wasn't practicing that. They wasn't knowing that. They wasn't knowing none of that. Right? So y'all ain't got no excuses. Y'all brought that same delineated behavior and tribalism over here and then want to blame us when we say, hey, we don't want no parts of it no more. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.